Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Naita Green, and I am the CEO and founder of Disability Community for Democracy. Disability Community for Democracy was incorporated on December 2nd, 2024. And the reason why it was incorporated was because I knew as a member of the disability community that the attacks on our community based on who was just at that time elected to the office of the presidency were going to be bad. Um, so that was the reason why we started the organization. Disability Community for Democracy is a peer-run disability grassroots organization in the United States dedicated to preserving, protecting, defending liberal democracy and our civil rights, no matter who is in power at the local, state, and federal levels. Today, we are hosting the Bed-In Stop RFK's Autism Registry virtual event, as the Autism Registry constitutes an assault on our liberal democracy and civil liberties by establishing a mechanism to surveil, stigmatize, and marginalize individuals on the autism spectrum and, by extensions, persons with disabilities. This virtual rally aims to raise awareness about the registry's dangers and encourage participation in our three-pronged approach to fighting this awful registry. So I will love would love to just say this to everyone. One, I'm wearing an autism. I'm going to just stand up a little bit so you can actually see the shirt itself. I'm wearing a Say No Autism Registry shirt with Disability Community Democracy logo on there. Um, you can um you can actually purchase a shirt on our store. So if our chat host could put the link in the chat, if you all want to purchase it, you can go ahead and do so. That's number one. Number two, I just want to say this. Thank you everyone for being here on a Saturday in the summertime, at least in the northern hemisphere. In the southern hemisphere, it is the winter. So I will say, like, I really appreciate everyone being here. With that, I am going to turn the meeting over, and I'm going to introduce our first speaker, Stephen. So I didn't understand. I'm gonna say this right now. I didn't understand that, like, when I met Stephen was saying he's a counselor, and I'm like, what is he
Yeah,
talking about? Because I'm not from the UK. So I had to do a little bit of a deep dive.
yeah.
It's equivalent to our city council in the United States. So he is the youngest person on his city council. He lives in the United Kingdom. He's on the spectrum. And unfortunately, the UK has a registry. So it's really dangerous. And so I asked him to, do a presentation on what's going on in his home country. Because guess what? Um, this is a really sad day. Stephen also is one of our volunteers with one of our projects called Neurodivergent Voters, and he knows a lot about what's happening here and what's being played out. So with that, Stephen, the floor is yours, and thank you so much for being here. Stephen is on vacation and getting ready to head back to the UK. He's in Italy, so thank you, Stephen, for taking time out of your vacation.
Okay, sounds good. So, just quickly, you can see from the title, what we need to do is empower people with neurodiversity, not merely catalogue it. What's the point? It's a good question. This is what we all signed up to when we joined public life. Selflessness, gonna let you read that. Again, as I say, all views and opinions expressed are my own. Let's go forward. So, data is massively powerful. Think about this for a minute. If you are a marketer or anybody who wants to sell data, then you will be able to it's a powerful tool. I have seen the impact of it. I mean, this is what fills up my post bag, the email bag. Is literally all this stuff. And it's the impact of stigma, the importance of trust. I've seen it. I've seen the importance of those principles. RFK's registry carries such significant risks when it comes to everyone involved. It misunderstands neurodivergent needs and creates a framework for ableism. We need to learn from past mistakes and champion a rights-based approach. This is what actually will happen, is it will reinforce the medical model. The NHS has already tried it. And the BMA, our British Medical Association, they are a medical union. They represent the doctors. They were recently on strike. Said, we are not expected to be the DWP police. The death of Alex Henshaw was a suicide after someone didn't get their GCSE result. I think it was still a certificate education, roughly equivalent to your high school diploma, I guess, something like that. But the NHS Monocrypt attack was stealing NHS data. This happens all the time. It could be used to categorize individuals, it could be used as a proxy for a mental capacity assessment, which would fundamentally ignore the real purpose of both. It would ignore the real purpose of support, and it would also ignore the real purpose of, in my opinion, it will ignore everyone. We don't have access to it. I don't know who it serves through civil adjustments flag. We don't have access to it. NHS Connecting for Health was basically a £1 billion failure. And that's an enormous failure. Trying to build and manage a single centralised system doesn't work. One major problem with centralised systems, they become money-burning parties. Yeah, the NHS flag. The reality is adjustments are not given at all. Imagine an 18-year-old who probably doesn't want to share that they've got autism spectrum condition. They are massively trapped. Not that I like calling it a condition, but it is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is. It will also other people. I'm saying it's awful we don't have access, but on the other hand, it's awful it have access. It's awful for those of us who do have access to it. It's awful for everyone involved. It's awful for everyone. I do mean everyone involved. The school made Renreef High School, Stockport. Seriously, how did you manage to get this so wrong? How did you manage to get inclusion of people with autism so wrong, Renreef? The school made sunflower lanyards mandatory for hidden disabilities, mandatory for everyone with SEND. It led to humiliation and embarrassment for students, a public fear of bullying. A public fear they were being bullied as a result of this. And this is a small scale, it led to widespread backlash. I know that national news was reporting, international news were reporting on this. Hospital secretaries, exactly. Can I just say, exactly, Antonia. You've just said something that I didn't want to make the comparison to Nazis, but yeah, I think I will make the comparison to Nazis. I kind of didn't want to, but I will. Then there was another case involving Leeds Teaching Hospital's NHS Foundation Trust. And this is just casework that I could find, I hasten to add. This is casework that I was able to find. There's a lot more casework that you're unable to find. The trust failed to consider behaviour that arose from their disability. The behaviour was checking their own mother's medical records without permission. I mean, checking your own mother's medical records without permission. Imagine having an autism registry where it becomes incredibly easy to check someone's medical records without their knowledge, consent, or what have you. They were unable to. The tribunal found, yes, it was a legal tribunal, they were fined 256k. I've put how much that is in euro, roughly, as well. So the suspension was disproportionate and the employee was not culpable or quote unquote blameworthy. There was the learning, and I will read you the learning because this was a legal case, and so there's bound to be some learning. Discrimination arose from something arising in a consequence of disability, and proportionality is vital in disciplinary matters. Yes. They were basically checking their own medical records. And I wrote a letter to a Norfolk County Councillor, who is a equivalent rank in the US would probably be County Commissioner. So effectively, there's County Councillor, then a tier above us, County Commissioner. I asked about adult social care having bedtimes. Adult social care and bedtimes for adults with disabilities. There was a clear restriction of autonomy and civil rights. It stemmed from this mindset of disability and disabled people are something to be controlled and not supported. He passed it over to the portfolio holder, the person responsible. They basically blanked me. I think that is incredibly telling. That's incredibly telling. Come on. Next slide. They can get the next slide. Got it. I'm going forward. Okay, so the current thing is consent is not being freely given. To quote the NHS, consent is not the basis for classification. Instead, it is a public task. Whatever that means exactly. Well, is this public task othering? Is this public task discrimination? Is this public task any of the above, really? The consent is not withdrawable either, I have to add. You can't withdraw it. Because the basis is consent, you are not able to withdraw it. Yeah. There is a fungibility of data. Consent is withdrawn. It is not able to stop being processed. It will never be, it will always be processed. You also do not have a right to portability, which is the right to take the data out and put it over to somewhere. The NHS has effectively said, I do not have the right to do that. I can't foresee all the risks. Withdrawal is impossible. Doctors can't be expected to be the DWP police. This highlights a conflict between our duty of care. DWP are our Department of Work and Pensions. For you, that's equivalent to Social Security, I believe, for you. I believe that's something like social. Oh wow. Oh wow. Okay. Norfolk. Same place as me then. Oh yeah, I should do. Thanks. Thanks for the reminder. Yep. Medical professionals' duties are being outright ignored. Medical professionals' duties are being outright ignored. What is happening instead? Is this good, by the way? Thank you for your reminder about the ASL interpreters. This highlights the conflict between a medical professional's duty of care and the punitive nature of a state registry. A state registry at its core is used to cut benefits. It's used to ignore everyone. And I do think we need to, when I say NCC, I mean Norfolk County Council, by the way they handle the big picture things. I'm using, sorry about the acronyms. Sorry about fluent acronyms. So it does undermine the trust and ethical practice. Ethical practice would dictate we do not do any of this. Consent for large ongoing registries. Questions about the ethics there. Is it ethical? I really don't think it is. Come on. I just realised. Um, that's my solution. Work with MPs, emergency planning authorities to declare the special educational needs crisis. It's been going on for 5 years. And the National Health Service crisis, they're like Medicaid and Medicare for you, but they cover the whole country. A major incident that would unlock funding. I mean, it is managed at cabinet level. As a town councillor, I understand the need for critical and empathetic support. There is no guidance. I had a 2 hour long training session when I became a councillor. How much of that do you think was send? How much? Yeah, it fills up my post bag. I can tell you, 2 minutes. 2 minutes. I'm not going to further provide. Yeah, I want a help and advice service. I want, ideally, us to be able to run it. I think don't have don't do as we do at the moment and run anything about us without us. Commit a CIC to help us manage this. That's a community interest company. I don't think we should be doing it anymore because that would overlap. That would overlap with this charity, and it would overlap, which would cause a problem when it comes to getting funding. Um, Establishing a new forum. Yeah, I want a new forum. Again, you've done that. Well done, Narita. Establishing a new celebration. Correct. I want clear data policies with individual control. I want secure and decentralized data. It should have a right to withdraw consent at any time. I want to actively lobby against. I think that is what not, unfortunately. Half of what we are doing is incredibly, incredibly bad for everyone involved. It's just give me a sec. It is incredibly bad for everyone involved. Anyone who's got even half a brain will know it's a nightmare. Trying to get the autism registry functioning is an absolute. It will be a nightmare. I want better guidance. I want better guidance to help me do my job. If to me, I can't serve the people I was elected to serve if I do not have good guidance to serve them. What is the point? Again, the floor is open for questions. Any questions? I think I'll go back to the very beginning to just remind you what we signed up for and what the Autism Registry does not do. Which is we all signed up for selflessness, honesty, integrity, objectivity, accountability, and leadership. Those are the 7 principles of public life. Tell you what the Autism Registry is: selfish. I don't think it's got much integrity. Definitely not very objective. Definitely unaccountable. Oh, and by the way, about openness. Honesty. Well, maybe if dishonesty was one of the known principles. Leadership. Complete lack of leadership from the present administration. That's what I think. Thank you to the hosts. I just pushed it back to the beginning to show you that quickly. And hello?
Oh, thank you, Stephen. I am going to remove your host permissions. I just want to say thank you so much for speaking and hanging with us. I know you got to catch a flight. So as we used to say in my day, we used to say peace out or peace in the Middle East.
Yeah.
So enjoy your flight and
Yeah.
I will see you next
Yeah.
month.
Good idea to put those specific principles in.
Yes, it was. Everybody enjoyed it.
It's always it's something that's basically drummed into you when you become a councillor.
Yeah, but I will say this. You have more integrity than a lot of politicians that I have met,
Mm,
and you are only 19, 20 years old. That says a lot about how you were raised. And of course, as neurodivergent people, our sense of justice. We
mm.
appreciate you. Thank you for standing with us. You didn't have to.
I didn't.